Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod here coming at you live with another daily market recap. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. I'm doing today's video a little bit early. As most of you are aware, we have earnings season kicking off again today and continuing with big tech due to report after the bell. So Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google. And let me know in the comments below what your plan is, if you're holding anything. And before we jump into the content, make sure to smash the like, subscribe, and tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. So in today's video, like I said, we're going to discuss the market rebounding after the worst sell-off in months and big tech earnings scheduled after the bell. I have quite a few things I want to go over. And like I said, I'm doing this video a little early today to get everybody a little bit of a heads up and some preparation into what we could expect after the bell rings. So we did see some economic data today. The GDP booms at 33.1% in Q3, better than expected. So it was 32% was the estimate, so it came in better than expected with 33.1. We also had the weekly jobless claims come in the lowest since the March lows at 751K versus 778. And next on the list, we had a stimulus update. So we did see that Nancy Pelosi was pressing Mnuchin for answers on stimulus as she pushes to restart talks. So like I said in my previous video, don't be surprised if we see some more rhetoric regarding this and talk starting to pick back up. And with the stock market sell-off, Pelosi said that she hopes that that gives incentive for Trump and the Republicans to pass a bill. We also saw that Germany and France announced restrictions and they're shutting down today. Thursday was the first day, so they were basically closing restaurants, gyms, cinemas, bars, you name it, beginning November 2nd. So you can check that article out on your own. We also have some earnings from today as well, which I'll go over in just a second, but I did want to show that Biden is maintaining polling lead over Trump with 5 days to go. So there was some numbers here. 51.9% to 43.7%. So obviously Trump is trailing there, and we'll continue to monitor that. We had Shopify rallying after they crushed revenue and profit estimates. So revenue at Canada's largest company by stock market value nearly doubled to 767 million, while adjusted earnings was 113 per share, more than twice analysts' estimates. So Canada's biggest stock making a statement here. Spotify beat estimates in third quarter with 320 million users. Just taking a quick peek at the numbers here. 1.98 billion euros, 2.32 billion. Analysts tracked by Bloomberg expected 1.93 billion. So another beat there. We also had Overstock. Overstock was tumbling, but they did report net income of 23 million and total net revenue of 732 million. Gross profit was 171 million, or 23% of total net revenue. Total net revenue was 732 million, increase of 111%. So there's the numbers there. Earnings per share was 50 cents, an improvement of 1.39 year over year. But we were seeing the stock falling. We also had Moderna reported a Q3 loss and tops revenue estimates. So quarterly loss of 59 cents per share versus the estimate of 49. And we'll see, obviously they could see some more upside if they develop a cure to the sickness. But we also saw that Suncor misses with 302 million loss on lower production prices and obviously being hit by the sickness and the global issue at hand. So Suncor Energy is reporting a third quarter operating loss of 302 million, or 20 cents per share, as revenue fell 34% to 6.5 billion due to lower production. So definitely struggling. And like I said, I did a video, you can check out my Suncor videos, and I did highlight that earnings was coming up. So if you were buying and you weren't playing off of a support level or using a stop loss or factoring in that earnings were coming up, then this is exactly why that heads up was given, because these are things that we can't control. We also saw that Synovus purchased Husky for 3.8 billion in an all-stock deal, and they took a 450 million charge on Texas refinery and reports Q3 loss. So Calgary Energy Company, a loss in the third quarter as its results were hit by 450 million impairment charge. Says it lost 194 million, or 16 cents per diluted per diluted share in the quarter ended September 30th compared to a profit of 187 million or 15 cents per diluted share a year ago. It says it adjusted funds flow amounted to 414 million or 34 cents per share. So definitely some challenge ahead for the oil industry, and clearly being brought to light through the earnings report. So just going over some indice reviews. So SPY, we had daily EMA bear crosses on SPY. Did want to bring that up here. So I highlighted that in my video yesterday, and we did hit a low of 325 today. 325 was the weekly EMA as well, which I'll bring up in a second. Well, I'll bring it up right now. So we did bounce off EMA 26. It was also a nice round psychological number. And I'll go over a trade review that I took on SPY there later on in the video. We also had increasing bear volume yesterday. So let's just take a look at the daily volume so far on SPY. So not very impressive compared to the sell volume that we had yesterday. Let's take a look at QQQ with earnings approaching. Again, EMAs looking to bear cross. Not very impressive here. I know we still got 33 minutes left of the trading day, but not very impressive in terms of volume there from the bulls. But we'll see if we can get a final push into the end of the day. And I did expect us to drop here, set an hourly higher low again, which I'll highlight in just a second. But we did have SPY with hourly inside bars on watch as well. I highlighted this in the group. So we had an hourly inside bar bull break, and that was the go signal. And again, I'll go over that trade review that I had there earlier on in the day. And we saw that, let me see, SPXS and SQQQ were down a lot today. But let me just bring this up here real quickly for you. So I did a post this morning. So I closed my SPXS position the same 3 at 25, which was the weekly EMA 26 support on SPY, and entered SPXL. I'll try to make this as easy to understand for the newcomers and the beginners out there. But essentially SPXL is a 3x leverage bull ETF, and SPXS is a 3x leverage bear ETF. So I flipped from my bear position, my 3x bear position, at 325, then I flipped long at 325 with SPXL, expecting an oversold bounce on the hourly. The 4-hour RSI was the lowest since March, and the sickness lows. Just sold SPXL, looking to re-add SPXS here as we approach 5-minute overbought and hourly resistance. Bulls likely need to form an hourly higher low on the hourly first. Bulls like to form a higher low on the hourly first before attempting a resistance break, in my opinion. I would look to enter SPXS here when we top out on the hourly, lose the 5-minute uptrend, that'll confirm it, and then enter SPXL on the hourly higher low. Market sold off quite a bit the last 2 days, plus key economic data was bullish, jobless claims and GDP beat, and gold also at key support levels, so expecting a bounce today. So posted this morning, and obviously we saw a huge bounce. SPY up about $7, and I think QQQ about the same. So obviously it was bang on there, maybe more selling into Friday afternoon / weekend, but expecting a bounce into end of the day and into the beginning of tomorrow morning. SPY also had bullish RSI divergence, which gave me confident entering long at 325. Price was trending down, but RSI was trending. So you can see the chart here that I drew on the hourly. We were trending up on the RSI, and we were setting lower highs and lower lows on the price on the hourly. So that again gave me confidence to enter at that 25 weekly EMA 26 once I saw that. And I did set here another alert out saying, wouldn't be surprised if we sell off a bit here on SPY and set an hourly higher low and work on a trend change before the end of the day. Still no hourly uptrend confirmed or trend change yet. And let's just take a look at the chart. So on SPY, this morning, again, we were trending. I'll bring it up over here, actually. It's probably easier to see. So on the hourly this morning, we were forming this bull RSI divergence here. And then once we hit 325, nice round psychological number. It was EMA 26 on the weekly. And I was expecting a 15-minute. This is a little busy here right now. I'll just zoom in. So we had this hourly downtrend that we were watching, this resistance line. We broke out of that. We bounced off 325, and then we set an inverse head and shoulders here on the 5-minute. and it was also a 15-minute bull flag. So when I looked at that, I said, okay, so 15-minute was forming a inverse head and shoulders. We also had a 15-minute bull flag. As you can see here, we held the 0.32 fib. So one, we had the hourly bull divergence. We had 325, nice psychological number. Weekly EMA 26. There's three signals to go and to go long the stock and to go long SPY and expect a bounce. We also had an inverse head and shoulders, which confirmed. So, and we had a 15-minute bull flag. So there's 4 or 5 different reasons for you guys. And the exact measurement from the bull flag to and the inverse head and shoulders brought me up here to exactly 332-ish. And we also had resistance here at 332 on the 15-minute as well. So again, that was a nice area to take profit. I re-entered on that consolidation. I sold in the morning, went long SPXL. Then when we hit 5-minute overbought, that's when I sold. And well, we got close to it. And then I sold, was looking for that 15-minute bull flag and inverted head and shoulders. And then we rided this uptrend. Then just looking at the 1-minute chart and all the way up, like I said, I knew the target to be 332 from the resistance prior. Also, it was a 15-minute bull flag, and it was also the 15-minute IHS, the inverse head and shoulders. And you can see here, this uptrend line on the 1-minute held this entire time. And I closed my I closed my long position again up at 332. We did go above 332. We hit 333 actually, but I was comfortable taking profit at 332. Like I said, that's about an $8 move from the lows. And then we back tested this line here. That generally happens. I see that happen a lot. And that's when I entered short, and I covered my short here. And we were looking at a 5-minute bear flag into a 5-minute downtrend. So let me just zoom out to the 5-minute. So another reason why I was confident entering. So I closed my short out here, and then I was looking for a bounce. So we looked at the 5-minute, so the 5-minute bear flag into a 5-minute downtrend. So we were bouncing here on the 5-minute. It was a 5-minute bear flag potential. Then we confirmed a 5-minute downtrend. And then 331 was the area that I was looking at, because like I said, we knew we were looking for an hourly higher low, and we formed an upper wick here on the hourly candle with a low of 331.45. I was expecting, okay, we have an upper wick, we're outside, we're at the top of the Bollinger Bands, we're probably going to set an hourly higher low, and then bulls may look to confirm an uptrend with a higher high into the end of the day. And that's exactly what happened. We went to a lower low. I covered at 331 and couldn't have played out any better. That was an absolute moneymaker. I sold at the open my short, went long SPXL, covered that, went all cash. Then on this 15-minute bull flag in IHS, I went long again with SPXL. And then once we hit my target of 332 and then back tested, confirmed the back test and resistance did not break, then I re-entered short, covered, re-entered short again on the 5-minute bear flag and 5-minute downtrend with the hourly higher low. And now just sitting at cash right now. I have some MJ positions right now. I still have a SPY short, a SPY no touch short, and QQQ tech sector short. But that was my trade review on SPY. And like I said, I called that out in the group, gave everybody tons of heads up, and played out perfectly. That technical analysis comes in handy if you know what to look for. So DXY, we weren't seeing an inverse correlation for most of the day, which I noticed was very notable. So we were trending up today when stocks were moving up, and now we're back to an inverse correlation. Actually, SPY's pulling back here at the same time, so we're still correlated, pulling back, QQQ pulling back. While we were going up, the dollar was going up this morning. We had a cup and handle fail on the dollar, but most important resistance, it was also 94.10 and 94.09. So we have a double top there with the cup and handle. And then once we broke the EMAs, then that negated the cup and handle. And we knew to be looking up for some bearish follow through there on the momentum side because of that cup and handle being negated and the double top taking effect. So that was notable. I did notice that it's kind of been inverse to the metals. So gold, like I said, another reason why I entered SPY long this morning at 325 was gold was at the weekly descending triangle support. I didn't expect this to break, especially with the key economic data being better than expected. GDP, jobless claims better than estimates predicted. So I knew we probably weren't going to flush unless there was some major news. We didn't have any major news, so that gave me another confidence going long SPY, and we were right at that crucial support, and couldn't have played out any better. But in a daily downtrend now on gold, taking a look at oil, so huge bear break on oil straight into a lower low, but we do have a nice bounce here forming with a lower wick, and we did lose the weekly. We tried to confirm a weekly uptrend here with a low, high, higher low, and higher high, but then we basically got a fake out into a new low. So we're just essentially going flat right now on US oil, and we'll continue to monitor this into the rest of the night. But solid bounce there on oil for the day. That's pretty much all I had for you guys in terms of indices. I could go over a few more things, but just in essence of trying to keep this video a little shorter, I'll leave it there. So like I said, we have Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook earnings after the bell. Keep an eye on the weekly head and shoulders potential on Amazon as well. You see here that we're forming a weekly head and shoulders. We are also forming a head and shoulders on Microsoft, even after Microsoft had very good earnings, but their guidance was less than great. So that's why we saw a pullback there. But again, just keep an eye out on those patterns going into tonight and the rest of the week. Let's take a quick peek at Apple. So Apple on the daily, we are bouncing. So the daily bounce is underway. Hourly chart, we did form a little bit of a higher low there. We were forming a rising wedge, which broke bull, and then we came back and tested below the wedge, and now we're just essentially going sideways. But we're just looking for a 5-minute. We did lose the 5-minute uptrend. Now we're looking to confirm a 5-minute uptrend again into the end of the day as well. Amazon into the end of the day, some selling, and we saw a huge run up. So 4 or 5% on Apple. So Apple's really going to have to crush the earnings, in my opinion. Could be a sell the news event. We'll see. It's not like it ran 10 or 20% or anything like that, but 5%, I'm definitely going to expect. I'm definitely going to need to see a huge beat on that front. Google into the end of the day, 5-minute downtrend. Let's take a look at Facebook. Also in a 5-minute downtrend with some significant selling. A lot of people are speculating that Snap and Pinterest might be taking some market share away from Facebook. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys at the moment. Again, I could do a deeper dive on these names for you, but in the essence of time, I want to end it there. I also have a couple trades that I want to close out before the end of the day. And I'll also be watching HEXO. HEXO is reporting their earnings after the bell today, which could line up well. HEXO is reporting with all the big 4 tech names with Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Google. So we could get, and if the selling is over and we see a move up tomorrow, this might be a nice move by management and a good time to get some tailwinds in the stock. So it's a good thing, in my opinion, that we sold off a lot yesterday and today, and then possibly with some positive and better than expected earnings from HEXO and the big tech companies, we should see a lot of tailwinds at its back. So that's definitely what I'm watching. I got a fairly big position on HEXO that I'm planning to hold for the long term. Don't really care what happens with the earnings, to be honest, tonight. So again, make sure you have a plan, and I'll be doing another video later on today with an earnings recap, and let me know in the comments below if there's any tickers you want covered, or if you need any help by any means, just let us know in the comments below. Again, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us for another daily market recap and joining us on the pursuit of wealth. We'll talk to you in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.